my fellow people. I don't know what to call you guys. It's a mix of Thuzies, GP, Ride-Ups, everyone else. Welcome to my latest creation. This $50 million piece of steel in the middle of the jungle with this giant piece of steel right here and these three hunks of steel, concrete, and dirt. With lots of plants, of course. Welcome to Sovereign. Welcome to Ride-Up training for what is probably the most expensive coaster in Sentinel history, and counting, because we got some stuff coming up that'll financially blow this out of the water. But more on that when the time comes. So first, before we begin, we've actually redone our hand signals. We're changing the meta. We're not going to be like everybody else. We're not going to be all those weirdos with the thumbs in the air. You know, to clear the train. That's not what that is anymore. So, really quickly, let's go over these. First, we got our clear. No longer is the clear the thumbs up like the status quo. Instead, you're going to take your thumb and your index finger. You're going to make a circle. Your other three fingers are going to be up in the air. And then you don't even have to have your arms straight for this anymore, because I know holding it there for a little while can be tiresome. You can have your arms straight, you can have your arm bent. Doesn't matter as long as it's visible to who it needs to be visible to, whether that's controls, whether that's another op on the other side. Which we'll get into in a little bit. So that's our new clear. Restraints lock is going to be a thumbs down. Open up restraints is going to be a thumbs up. At least for all of them. But as you can see with this one, where we have the ability to unlock individual cars, you're also going to hold up the number of the row that you want unlocked. To cross, it's an open hand. Shoot your arms straight over the other side of the train. That's actually the same as before. Gonna be honest with you. Hold dispatch is actually also the same as before. You're gonna take your fist, and then you're gonna grasp onto your wrist with the other hand. Make sure it's visible. Hold it up there, so you see a visible hands off, and then holding dispatch, do whatever you need to do. In this case, we need to stop a train, we can hit auto mode stop. Because it's an Attendant and they like to move themselves. And lastly, our E-stop. You're going to take both your arms, cross them in an X in front of you with open hands. And you're not just going to do this, because you're also going to loudly yell E-stop as loud as you can. That way it's unmistakable. If your controls, you push that E-stop as soon as you get the signal. Ask questions later. And better to explain why you did than to have to explain why you didn't. When in doubt. Alright, so those are our hand signals. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of this lovely Intamin hypercoaster. So, let's go around. Let me show you where everything is. This is our lovely sign, our reflection pool. That's the midway to get here, to the rest of the park. It's kind of far away from everything. But that's why we got our own bathroom. And that's why our store over here, in which you can buy chocolate and you can buy merchandise, has its own drink stand with it too. So you can, if you have drink plan, you can use it here as a refresh station, which is important in the Mayan heat. This is our temple. This is where we worship the gods and trust the ancient machine to fly through the air. This way is actually our exit, but I'm going to come through here to show you. This is our photo booth. So how to use an open back design here. Through there is the elevator. If you need to go straight from here to Merge or vice versa, you can just slide this open, go through here, and go out the other side. No big deal on that. Got your phone down here, so you can call up if you need to. This goes underneath the platform. This is where, well, you punch in and out using the phone now, but this is where the dock box is, where you store your stuff. Going up here now. This right here is a revolutionary new bin system. This actually opens and closes on its own. You can see these are open. And there's another one on the other side for this train. So that dispatches out that way. Multi-move. See, that bin's now closed. And as this train comes in, this one opens up too. And then these gates open up. And everybody gets out and comes this way. Well, we'll get into this a little bit later, but if you have someone with ADA, we're gonna direct them through here, through this gate right here. Pull this out. And then you'll put them back through to the elevator. Everyone coming out of ADA is actually going to be grouped into rows normally after you fill out their pass. Which, again, we'll get into later. Going down here, these are our entrance stairs. See? Comes right out the other side. This is our queue. You can open these up. Go through here. Got a bunch of pretty posters. And we'll go over the length of the queue, too. Got all the ancient gods of the indigenous societies around Mexico. I'm back through this way. Let's go out. And, let me show you the test seat, because it reflects the seat that's on the actual ride. So, fundamentally, the trains are almost the same as Hyperion. It's got the 4 wide, except a couple key differences. First of all is the seat. It's got the newer seat with carbon fiber restraints and with the bougie handles, as I call them, because only the bougie parks have these handles. And we're a bougie park now. Like Hershey and Universal and Six Flags Kiddie City, which may or may not have functioned into some kind of inspiration for the decorations on this ride. So, for some general information, what you are looking at is an Intamin Giga Coaster. It's their name, coined by Cedar Fair in the 2000s when they built that big blue monorail they call a coaster. Anything between 300 feet and 400 feet, in which case this goes up 342 feet, goes down 337 feet at a 90-degree angle, speeds up to 97 miles an hour, length is 8,307 feet. Doesn't really feel like it though, because this thing is going so incredibly fast the whole time. And it's actually the first Giga Coaster to have inversions. It's got 3 of them, including the tallest in the world and the fastest in the world. I don't know if you can see it. That way out there is a top hat. That puts you upside down, 252 feet in the air. And after it is a roll, and you take it 81.7 miles an hour, which makes it the fastest inversion in the world. Sorry, Max Force. We took that back from you. Also got the fastest airtime hill in the world right after it, not that it matters. At 80.3 miles an hour. Took that from Steel Vengeance. Not sure if King Daka had that, but may God rest his soul. So, yeah, it's the tallest coaster in the world with at least one inversion, the fastest in the world with at least one inversion, longest in the world with at least one inversion. It's also was the longest non-mountain coaster in the world for a tiny little bit before Falcon's flight opened. Yeah, good while it lasted. 3 trains on this, with 8 cars each. Oh, and these trains also got the fancy wheels, like Georgia Gold Rusher and Falcon's Flight. The ones that got the open spokes so they can cool down better. It's also got hella wheel coolers, but, you know. So, 3 trains, each which seats 32 people in an 8x4 configuration. Because of its immense height, not that we have to worry about that much most of the year in Riviera Maya, Mexico, but this thing will close in 15-mile lightning, which is longer than the usual 10. So, you got a whole bunch of other coasters in this park, including a hypercoaster. This will close 5 miles earlier than any of those. Most of our large coasters is 10-mile, and large flats too, our tower rides, and then most of our smaller coasters and rides are 5-mile. Because of the insane speed of this coaster, 97 miles an hour, as much as I hate to be that guy, this will close in moderate rain. Again, a lot of the busiest times at this park in Mexico, it's usually like this. It's sunny, it's hot, it's beautiful. But occasionally you'll get some rain, and if it gets moderate, which usually around here doesn't last more than like 15 minutes, the ride will go down. Occasionally you'll get lucky and be on an outbound train when it starts raining like that, in which case, sorry about your face. Wind is 45 miles an hour at the top of the structure. Specifically talked to Intamin to make sure this thing can operate in higher winds, because it's kind of a bummer when your big coaster is closed due to wind that comes with the territory of being built next to a big body of water. Yeah, kind of annoying when that happens. So 45 miles an hour before we have to worry about this going down for wind instead of usual 35 that Intamin likes to put on it. So, yeah, a lot of times when you think there's a lot of wind up there, a lot of times this will still be operating, so nice. And we've never had an issue with it valleying because of that. Well, mostly because it's hot, but, you know. So, yes, must be a minimum of 52 inches tall and a maximum of 77 inches. That's 132 centimeters. And I forget what the other measurement is, but it's on the general information. It's all here. So, due to the nature of the restraint, which is an overhead lap bar, as you can see here, with fancy carbon fiber on it, some large riders will not be able to ride. I fit on it, with room actually, despite my rather large size, so, you know, that's good at least. But if you're over, I would say, like 310, about, depending on where you carry that, you might have trouble with this. If you're larger and you have doubts, try the test seat. If you're working entrance, nicely recommend that people try the test seat. Okay? You can just, especially if the wait's like 60, 90, 180 minutes or whatever, ask them nicely, have you ridden this before? If they say yes, let them go on their merry way. If they say no, remind them, hey, this ride's got a close-fitting restraint system. You might want to try the test seat before you end up waiting 90 minutes just to get walked off. Although, notwithstanding the fact that our brilliant ops up there are experts in getting LGs into this thing. Trust me. I've seen some, like, rather large American tourists ride this. Especially the ones staying at those fancy all-inclusives we do deal with. Come on. You're an all-inclusive resort. You gotta gorge every now and then. It's good to be able to gorge without worrying about if you're gonna fit in the coaster. So, extremities. Guests must have a minimum of 3 functioning extremities. They have to have a minimum of 1 full functioning leg, including prosthesis, and 1 leg amputated below the knee. Guests must be able to grasp with 2 naturally occurring hands in order to ride. Yeah, this guy doesn't like one-handed people. As much as we love our one-handed people. Because they can do some pretty incredible things. But not ride this. I'm sorry. It's for safety more than anything. Guests with a cervical collar, neck brace, broken collarbone are not permitted to ride, nor are people with casts or hard braces. I had a dear friend who recently broke his hand. He's got a hard brace now. He used to have a cast, but now he's got to take that brace off if he wants to ride Sovereign. But he can ride it, if he can take that off. Alternate access I already showed you. You're going to walk down here, stay on ground level past the stairs, and then you're going to go in the elevator, go up, and you're going to be grouped into a row as normal once your pass gets a return time on it. Speaking of which, mobility aids. Those are going to be moved either by the guest or by you. You can offer to move them. If they say no, allow the guest to do it. Don't forget that these mobility aids and medical items are an extension of their self. Treat them with the utmost respect and care. Otherwise, I will take you to Six Flags St. Louis and make you ride Boss 50 times in a row. Guests must be capable of taking steps on their own or with the assistance of a companion, and be capable of elevating themselves up into the seat. And like I showed you before, upon exiting the ride, those who cannot use the stairs will be directed through the gate to the grouping area and take the elevator back down. As with most coasters, please advise guests not to use the restraints for support, because they will shift. Especially these guys. So, loose articles. Anything not riding with you will go in those fancy bins I just showed you. So, let's go over this whole thing. Cast and brace are not allowed. Prosthetics are not allowed. Pocket items are allowed. And I know. Oh, the incredible airtime this thing has. You might be surprised we don't require lockers, but this doesn't go over any midways. In fact, you stayed fairly far away from any other rides, any paths, anything. You're going through the jungle. So we don't need to worry about that. So items are allowed in a cargo pocket, or in a waist pack, or in a zipping jacket pocket, provided they do not interfere with the restraint system. So let's say you have a fanny pack. First of all, any packs like that, they've got to be worn around your waist. They cannot be worn over the shoulder. Otherwise, they're going to go into the jungle and never be seen again. So you can see they can't be worn in the front. They got to be moved to the side, so they're not in the way. Handheld items obviously are not allowed on this ride, especially phones. Food and drinks are not allowed. Trust me, you're not going to be taking the dinner flight anytime soon on this. Oh, now I'm hungry. Thanks. You are allowed to bring bags in line. Bring anything that can fit in those bins. You see like a large, something excessively large, you might advise the guest to put it in a locker somewhere elsewhere. But it doesn't really happen much because any of our midway games, you get vouchers and we distribute prizes outside the front gate and don't allow them back in. Glasses and hats are both allowed with a strap, especially those snazzy meta glasses you can use to film your flight. Be sure you film it in 4K and then upload the same POV to YouTube as like 300 other vloggers and enthusiasts are going to upload of this. And of course, another warning, the ride contains strobe lighting in the form of your on-ride camera, which is going to be just after the big old top hat on the way to the roll at very high speed. Good luck posing for that. And of course, being an Intamin, another warning, the ride utilized magnetic systems during the ride. Magnetic brakes are... okay, I was going to say everywhere, but they're really just in one spot. The rest of it's... like, it's crazy how few magnetic brakes there are in this. There's no trims or anything. So, I should also explain, real quick, the various paperwork you might find. As in paperwork, I really mean just 88 passes and item tickets. So, there's two kinds of 88 passes, and the regular one, the green slip, was actually just changed for us too. We're changing the meta again. Not just the hand signals. So it used to be that you come to the entrance, you get a return time, and then when that return time is up, then you go to the ADA. That's kind of a pain in the buns. And I polled several friends in the industry, and they advised me to make this change too. Which is the same change that several parks, including a certain chocolate theme park, has been making as well, which has been working quite well as well. Gives us another reason to keep those wait times accurate. So now, you just go. You just go up, you ride, and you get a reverse wait time. It's equal to the time that you're admitted to the ride, plus the current queue time, or the EZQ time, if you have bought EZQ alongside your pass. Example, this whole thing's full and the wait time's 90 minutes, then you ride at 2:30 in the afternoon, then you can go ride El Loro or El Tren Peligroso at like 4 o'clock. But EZQ line spilling out here, it's like only 15 minutes, you can ride it at 2:45. If you are admitted to the front row, we do add an extra 15 minutes to that time. Actually, scratch that. That is not the case here because you are admitted as usual, so you end up waiting in the front row line anyway. So, that is not a thing here. Let me just strike that from my training aid. There's also the Plan Your Day slip for people with mental disabilities, invisible disabilities. Not every disability is visible. Those who cannot handle waiting in a line without adverse effects and rely on routine. Will plan your day, which is the same kind of thing, except the interval is standard. So it's the same interval in every ride regardless of the wait time. Depending on crowds forecasted, this can be as little as 5 minutes, as many as 180 minutes on the most crowded of days. Although at this park, given the nature of this park, it rarely gets that high. Like, you'll see that mainly during Christmas break, I want to say. And a couple days during spring break. This park is at its most crowded. If you want to get EZQ, you can cut that by 60%. So if the line's an hour, so if your interval's normally an hour, instead of waiting an hour between each, you can wait 24 minutes. There are a couple of stipulations, though, for Sovereign in that department, mainly because of the ride is brand new. It's obviously going to be extremely popular. So, Sovereign cannot be the first ride of the day for either pass. And for the Planar Day Pass, you can only ride one time using the standard interval. Every time after that, the current wait time has to have passed since the previous ride before you can ride Sovereign again. That's going to be the case probably for a few years, because this thing's going to remain popular for quite a while. Also, or the EZQ time if you've bought an EZQ. Sometimes that can actually be shorter, though, so it's a bit of a trade-off. Like, if there's nobody in line for this EZQ, you have an EZQ and a Planar Day Pass, and your interval's 60 minutes, or your interval's 24 minutes, but it's like 10 minutes. Ooh, a John. 10. So, that's it for that paperwork. Oh, wait, forgot. The Sentinel Special, because we're the only people who does this to make sure. Item tickets. Don't really apply too much to this ride, because there's not really anything that we send you back down for, but on other rides, if you have an item that shouldn't be allowed in line, but somehow got past our entrance, you get sent back out to put in the lockers, which is, by the way, becoming much less common, because we're implementing things like new bin systems, double-sided lockers, as much as we can. But they give you, it's called an item ticket, and you just show the item ticket, and you'd be allowed back into the EZQ. And that would go for wherever you're stopped. So, that's that. Alright, positions. This ride can run a minimum of the following. 1 grouper, 2 people checking bars, 1 controls, 1 back here, 1 down there, and 1 down there. So 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. Plus 1 equals 7. So we run a minimum of 7. The maximum it will run, and this is only on the hottest days, because we can easily get away with 2 people. Like, we can easily hit an interval with 2 people, and I'm going to show you. Is going to be 1 here, 4 here, 2 in here, 1 here. So we'll take care of the items here and escorting guests. And then 2 up there and 1 here. So 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 1 is 6, plus 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9, plus 2 is 11, and plus 1 is 12. So we can run a minimum of 7, maximum of 12 at a given time. Any more than 12, and we'll usually send people cleaning. rotaciones are going to happen every 30 minutes as usual. They're going to start with the second unload. Because a lot of the times you only really need one person. This second person is mainly there to start rotations, but also to make things a little easier. Especially since we don't load at unload at all. Because we load everyone through the gates. We got extra wide gates for that reason. They're going to come here to exit. Exit's going to go down the stairs to greeter, where they're going to stay for 2 rotations if there's 2, or just 1 if there's 1. Then we're going to go in here to the merge point. I said merge, and then you're going to go up the stairs, and you're going to be grouper. And from there, you're going to go into the gates when you get the chance. They open. Be back, left, front, left. Then you're going to do controls of your train, and then front right, back right. And then you're going to go to unload. And both unloads will spend a majority of their time on this side of the platform. Although you can cross if you need to use that 8th unload there. In the case that we cut and unload, then whatever the in the case, we're going to cut entrance first before unload. So in that case, if we were running with a bare minimum, then we're going to do platform rotations only. So basically, entrance and merge would be rotated off brakes, which means you could possibly get stuck there, but trust me, this ride's first priority in staffing. It's not going to be like that for a hot while. But then you would just go from unload through here to grouper, and then you would actually come through this gate and be enabled, and then you cross the train and be on the other side, and then you cross back over and be unload again. So watch dispatch. There it goes. Fastest chain lift in the world, by the way. I'm telling you, these new chain lifts can do everything those cables can now. If they were to build Skyrush today, it would be with these trains and be with a chain lift. So that's our rotation schedule. Now let's go over the queue. So down these stairs is a 5-minute wait. Full stairs. And then for both regular and EZQ, to this corner here is 10 minutes. And then back to this corner here is 15. That is a 15-minute wait. If it's straight back. Now, for obvious reasons, being in Mexico, where it's hot, we're gonna open these indoor ones first and foremost before we open any of the outdoor ones. First, I'm gonna open up this guy. That is going to extend your queue by 10 minutes for a 25-minute wait, or for a... Actually, no, it's just 5 minutes. For a 20-minute wait. And then you open up this guy. And this guy will add 10 minutes. And then another 10 minutes. That's 40 minutes. This is 50 minutes. Or no. That's 40 minutes. This is 50 minutes. 30 minutes. 40 minutes. 50 minutes. And then you go down here. Open this one. This whole thing's full. That's an hour. Okay. Then you go here. And then you open this one. That's another 5 minutes for 65 minutes. This one's 15 minutes for 80 minutes. This one's 15 minutes for 95 minutes. Okay. Duck under some railings here. So I can show this to you. So, after that, if the ride's further getting more and more crowded, you're going to open this guy, and he's going to give you another 10 minutes for 105. And then each of these, add 15 minutes, 120 minutes, 135 minutes, 150 minutes. So we're at 2.5 hours. 165. 180. So that's 3 hours. And then opening this one back up. Once all of these are open, pretend that one's open. It's a total of 3 hours and 15 minutes. And we've seen this mainly when the ride first opened and through Christmas break, and then it started really kind of dying down a bit. So don't forget, it's not just the resorts coming here, it's also the general populace. We're not just a resort park. You get nice perks if you're staying at one of our resorts or at one of our partner resorts, but it's not a resort park, so does get crowded. All right, are we ready to go over positions? I think we are. So first, we're going to start. So I want to end with controls. We're going to go in a little bit of a weird order. First, we're going to start with unload. Once the next train parks, we can go through here. So, how's life? There they go. Oh, the next one's not even back yet. So dispatch this pretty quick. Okay. Should be right behind it. I think I hear it coming in. Oh, there we go. Hello. So that comes in. Its bin is now open. These gates open. Alright, so this is your panel for unload. So what you're going to do is after everyone gets off, you're going to make sure nobody's stuck in the seat. You're going to make sure all of the restraints are open. A quick little down and back. Open any that still need to be open, although these are pretty springy. These are like condas where they shoot upward at an extremely high rate of speed. And then you're going to close your exit gates like that. There's your unlock restraints button if you need it. If you have a restraint that hasn't been cycled, that's going to flash at you once that's off. All right. And then Once you're good, then you're good. Your E-stop, which cuts all power to the ride. Here's your auto mode stop, which just throws the ride into manual. Stops everything where it is. And then controls can move everything in manual. You also have your block resets. So occasionally, if it's in manual mode, we'll need to reset blocks. If we need to move trains backwards, particularly. Which doesn't usually need to happen. But it's there in case we need it. So the safety block reset. Safety block, it's there. The brakes, all the way up until the tires on the other side. Take you out real quick. See them. Tires over there. Stop the train. This is curve over here. The train will stop in the middle of this curve. And then this is station 2. So this block reset station 2. So you're ready to move button as soon as everything is ready. You just hit the button. Boop. And it's ready to move. Once it's solid green. And it'll automatically move once that one starts moving. Now, if you suddenly need to not dispatch it before it starts moving, for any reason, you can tap it twice more and it'll toggle it off after a cooldown of about 5 seconds, I would say. So that's what that is. That's basically it. The other train stopped on curve. This one's getting ready to go out. So that one's out of here. This one's coming through. And then this one stops here. So let's walk you through this. Okay, train parks. Restraint shoot upward. You're going to go for everyone to get off. You're going to go up and down here, make sure everything's good. Using the bin. Medical devices are exits responsibility, so you won't really worry about that. And close your exit gates once you're ready. That's cycled, so that's good. And go ahead and hit your ready to move. And then we just wait for that train to go out. That's basically it. Very, very simple. In the event that we have no exit, you will be responsible for any medical devices. Grouper will let you know. And then Grouper is also going to be responsible for escorting riders back to the elevators if they cannot use the stairs. So they're going to go ahead and clear the train. Out they go. This one goes out. And then you just kind of wait here for your next train to come in. There's no really safe spot, Stan. You just have to be... Imagine this little square. You have to be here. One person has to be here in front of the panel. The other person cannot go past, like, this imaginary line until this train parks. Alright, so it's parked. Restraints shoot up. Gates open automatically. So you're going to do a quick walk up. You can do a quick walk down. And then everything's cycled. It's good. So you're going to go over here. Go ahead and close those exit gates. And then go ahead and do a quick scan, hit your ready to move, and we just wait for them. You can also come over here and manually open a bin if you need to. So there's also that. So we'll do one more cycle, and then we'll move to exit, kind of show you, talk about what they got to do kind of a hypothetical. This won't really hurt anyone. It'll just kind of nudge them out of the way. Here comes the other train. Front row's got special options for bags. We'll talk about those later. Alright, so train has parked. Go ahead and do a quick up. This way, guys. This side. Exit to your left. Thank you. Alright, everything's all good. Go ahead and I'm going to close those exit gates. I'm going to do a quick scan. Everything's all good, so go ahead and hit this ready to move. Be available for any guest issues. Scanning, you're making sure nobody else is on the platform, because we don't really want this train moving with people on the platform. So they're just about done. They're doing their clears. And out they go. Once this train parks, we're going to move to exit. Go ahead and unload back. The other guy at unload's just kind of going to do the same thing. Make sure that it's basically a second set of eyes and a source of rotations. Whoever's in the position second will stay at the panel. Alright, exit. You're going to be in charge of some things here. You don't do ADA. However, what you do is if there's ADA guests that come off, ADA guests that board, they're going to call you in. Example, there's a wheelchair user now. They are in row number 6, so you go, hello. Would you like me to move your wheelchair to the exit platform? Sure. All right. So you're just going to kind of wait behind them. We're going to go that way. We are only going to board one wheelchair user at a time. All right, so in they go. They're going to go ahead and transfer to the seat. Stand out of the way here. All right, go ahead and take this. And you can do this while the train's coming in. It doesn't matter. Just kind of move it like over here out of the way. And second unload, we'll keep an eye on it. And you just kind of go in. And you're back in your pen. Whatever you need to do. If unload needs you to do something, Also, they'll let you know, answer guest questions. You can also reach over and open up a bin manually if you need to. You also want to be checking up here, making sure nothing's on top of these bins, because it might hinder these doors from opening. Which brings me to front row. Front row can either put it in the secured bins and wait for them to open again, or they can put them in the unsecured, which they can put them on top of here if they want. And they'll and then they'll get it when they get back. There was actually, saw another wheelchair. So there is actually another wheelchair coming back. There's no wheelchair user on the next train. So there is a wheelchair user on this train coming back, though. And then the guest can go over, grab the wheelchair, it's theirs. And then they will come over here. Gates are open, everyone's flooding through. Wheelchair's brought over. I'm going to go ahead and transfer in. Then they're going to come down through this way. You greet them, and then you're going to let them in through here. Then they go through here, and then Grouper will escort them back to the elevator. So it's that simple. That's basically what you're doing. You're an extra set of hands for that, make things run so much smoother. And it'll increase operations because of it. So that's basically that. We'll give the position back to whoever had it last. We're going to go down here now, and we're going to discuss Reader. So, here's your height stick. To the top of the tape is 52 inches. Here's your phone. It's an A phone. There's another phone over here, which is a park phone. There's two entrance positions, one standing on each side of this pillar. This is regular. This is EZQ. So your responsibility is to enforce rider requirements, height requirements, limb requirements. Although everyone's going to be doing that, but you're the first line of defense for that. Loose articles, if applicable. Making sure our large guests try the test seat, assist them in trying the test seat. Look presentable, look pretty, smile, greet every guest as you would. Don't be afraid to make small talk. You got your friends here. Don't distract them too much. Make sure you're doing your job first and foremost. This is your view. It's a stare at the back of the sign and the jungle and the other rides around here, and you get a kind of a view of the lift hill over here. You can also move in more. There's plenty of room. You can move in more if you need a little more shade. These are standing positions now, unless you have a medical reason for needing to sit. But we find that, I have found in my own experiences, that entrance host positions are much more effective when you're standing and you're on your feet. So, that's the basis of that. If there's keep in mind that entrance at this ride will not be in charge of opening queues, because that's what Merge will do. Because they can just load in there and they have easier access to everything. They go open queues, but you won't. Sit here, look pretty, force heights, force everything else. First line of defense, if the ride goes down, You're going to close the line, or both lines. You'll give information to guests. You'll spiel from the microphone saying the ride is down. And yeah, that's basically the gist of it. As far as entrance positions go, as high volume as it is, it's fairly simple. Because you don't really need to enforce loose article stuff. People can bring bags, people can bring whatever. Be on your toes, though, for height measurements. And don't forget to look at shoes. Doesn't matter what country you're in, US, Mexico, Canada, China, Japan. Parents are going to want to stuff the shoes to make the kids ride. You would think they would be a little more smart and, protect their bodily investment, but, not always like that. So, you got to be that first line of defense, and you got to know all the tricks. Height measuring. Take this guy, stand him straight up. Straight, use something flat. There's going to be a carpenter's triangle provided with this height stick, but anything flat will do. If they're uber close, put them on the height stand. You're going to have them stand up straight and tall. You're going to take this doohickey right here, this triangle. You're going to rotate it. You're going to slowly move it over. If it solidly hits their head, I mean solidly, not brushing the hair, and that's another thing you got to watch out for when height checking. You got to watch out for like poofy hairstyles or hats that might artificially add to the height. If it's not solidly knocking their head, then it's a no-go. If it's close, then you can send them to the front of the park to the info center to get officially measured and get a height wristband. But you will also be provided with height wristbands if it's like uber close that you can give to a guest to make their lives easier. So that is basically that. You've also got this path right here. You can go through here, and then you can go to the backside into the maintenance bay, and then get on the other side of the platform that way. But we like you to not do that. You can. It's generally reserved for when the ride is off. So, oh man, we're already at about an hour. That's it for entrance. So, we're going to go ahead and move. I left all these open. To merge. So, for obvious reasons, the smartest thing to do is not to go through there. You're actually going to come back here. Say hello to our photo associates. Say hello to any guests coming down. Say hello to any guests going to use the elevator. You're actually going to come through here. Slide this open. And now you're here. So, apologies if you have claustrophobia. You're not going to like this too much. Or if you get stressed in large crowds, because you're smack in the middle of it. You got a full EZQ line here. You've got hours and hours of queue here. It's a crowded day. So here you're in charge of most of the same things. Height checks, limb checks, loose article checks, all that. You got your height stick for that reason. You don't have a height stand here, though. There's kind of not enough room for one. So, you'll know is if it's close, it's only a few minutes. You'll call up to a grouper on the A phone here. Describe the guest. and tell them to measure closely. Because they have a height stand up there. We can't really fit one in anywhere here, because you've got your little square, and that's it. That's kind of why we got these doors, so they don't swing anywhere. But what you're mainly going to do here is you're responsible for maintaining equilibrium between these two lines. So, you've also got a clicker. And this clicker is going to count the number of EZQ people that come through. And you're also going to have them scan the EZQ. And look for EZQ wristbands. You're going to look for the logo, color, and you're going to look for it to scan. You're going to read the scanner. Shows they don't have any scans left, and send them back. Although, that usually happens there. My bad, I forgot to go over that. But this is the one that deducts a scan. That's the one that counts your scans, lets you know how many you have left in the rolling 1 hour window. Or if you still have the 1 scan per day left for this ride, if you're a standard EZQ or an EZQ1. By the way, EZQ1 is our newest option. I noticed a lot of European parks offer this. And it's great for if you're only spending like a part of a day at the park. So no use in having to pay for a full day EZQ if you're not going to be here a full day. EZQ1 gets you once on every ride. And I used something like that at Babajan Land because we were only staying half a day, and it was beautiful. It worked amazingly well. So you're going to do that. So you're going to let people in. There's different ways you can do this. You can let a certain amount of people in. You can let you can fill the stairs. If you got like equal parts both lines and they're full, what you can do is you can do alternates. Like you can fill the stairs with one group one time, and then you can fill it with the other group the other time. As for when to fill the stairs, I like, because grouper's sitting in here, I like when it gets up to like here. That's when when it gets up to like halfway up this step, that's when you start sending more people. So you go in, greet everybody, and then when it gets close, you say, hi, how many in your group? Like 3, okay, go, until they're about right here. Then, don't send anybody else. And then you send people from this line. And then, instead of a clicker, the EZQ scanner actually keeps count of how many scans it's deducted. And then it'll give you a reading for last hour. It'll give you a reading for the day. It's fantastic. As for counting riders and getting the DOR, that's different. That's going to be cycles and empty seats. It's not an exact science, but it gives us an approximate idea on how many people are going through. They're going to call you about 10 till each hour. Control's going to call you and ask you the EZQ number. We'll go over here, take the reading, and give it to them. And that's about it. So, yeah, that's... Oh, and you're also in charge of opening queues. Like, you need to open up a queue, you just kind of go in here and say, excuse me, and then you'll walk through here. And don't be afraid to just keep the line closed. Tell people not to move till you get back, because you'll be back. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me, guys. And we can get to the queue that we need to get to. This one. Let's open this one. Then you have everybody. This is a little wild today. Have everybody just kind of go through there. And then you go back to your little cave that you've got here. Alright, so that is it for Merge. Now we're going to head up the stairs and go to Grouper. And anybody who's spent at least part of the day at a park with me knows I like my grouping, even as a guest. I don't like empty seats. Part of that is an autism thing, because empty seats are super unsatisfying for me. But it's also for selfish reasons, because I like my train to be heavier because it goes faster. So, here's the elevator. Here's your A-phone. Here's your height stick, height stand. These are your bins. You're going to instruct people to put things in the open bin, unless they're going to the front row. Then you're going to put... you don't usually need to assign the front row directly unless there's no one there, because people are going to ask for it. You're going to put the stuff there. It's going to be unsecured, or they can put it in the open bin and wait for it. And wait for their bin to open. So what you're going to do is twofold. You got someone, let's say you got someone who's ADA coming back through. They're going to come in through here. Then you're going to close the gate behind them. Escort them through, and trust me, there's enough room. Have people wait toward the side. Wheelchair comes through. And then they can go back to the elevator. Usually people will be... Usually you have your chain up right here. Will be held to here. And then you bring them in. And you open up the chain. And then you assign them rows. You're going to have to do a lot of walking back and forth between these guys. Make sure there's at least 4 per row. And be able to see. So, let's wait over here with our load of guests. I'm going to show y'all how it's done next time the train parks and people go in. Right now, we do have... Let's see. How many are you guys? 2. Okay. Are you guys 2? Okay, your guys are going to go right up here and ride with these 2. Is that okay? Alright, cool. So we have a full front row line, you can do that. Gates are open, they're going to go in. And you immediately start grouping. Hi, how many? Hey, 4, you're going to go in row number 2. Okay, you want the back? You can go over here. So now we got people in the back. How many of you guys? 3. Go ahead. 3 of you are going to go in row 2. How many of you guys? 3 again. You're going to go in row 3. How many of you guys? 4. Row 4, please. How many of you guys? 4 again. You're going to go row 5. How many of you guys? 2. Okay, row 6. How many of you guys? 5. Okay. 2 of you in row 6. 3 of you in row 7. Do we have any single riders or groups that are not objecting to splitting up? You guys want to go right now? Okay. You 2. 1 of you in row 3, 1 of you in row 4. Do you have any other single riders? Anyone? Okay. So row 7 is going to have an empty seat. It's no big deal, but thing is, we kept empty seats to a minimum. Train is full. And we're going to walk over, make sure everyone's where they need to be. And then ask the group in the front row again. How many are you guys again? 3? Okay. We got any singles back here? People who want to ride right now? No? Okay. There's only 2 empty seats in this train. And then walk back. Then you do it all again. Alright, how many riders we got? 4. We want the front, though. Okay. Up here. Go ahead. All the way up front. It's about a 4 train wait. How many of you guys? 7. Okay. 4 in row 2. 3 in row 3. How many are you guys? Okay, you're fine. Would one of you be okay with riding with 3 strangers? Okay, so the person who's okay with that is going to go to row 3, the 3 there, and then 4 of you are going to go into row 4. How many of you guys? 2. Row 5. How many of you guys? 2. Row 5 as well. How many of you guys? 8. Okay, row 6 and 7. How many of you guys? 3? All right, row 8. Do you have any singles? Single riders. Singles on the stairs. Got one down there. You, sir. Your lucky day. Come on up. All right, come with me. Place your stuff in the bin. You're going to go in row 8 with these 3. And then it's rinse and repeat. How many of you guys? You guys have 4? Cool. Oh, and ask the next group behind him, too, in case he can group some people with them. All right, let's get this position back. So I know you guys are ready to start checking the train. I know I am. So, through here. First one we're going to do is enable or front left. So you got some buttons here. Your E-stop cuts power to the ride. Auto mode stop throws it in the manual. You got your station gates. Close those once everybody's in. And this is the Intamin special right here, the old verify button. So this is going to flash slowly if at least one seat is not at the verify position yet. It's going to flash fast if they all are. Now, normally on certain older Intamins, you got to hold up your hand and do a weird little motion, or you got to scream out, "What do we need?" as loud as you possibly can. But we don't do that here. You know why? Because we have a screen. And that screen shows you all of the seats, and it shows you if they're all good. If it's red, it needs to be cycled. If it's green like that, it's good. If it's gray, it needs to be pushed down further or closed. But yeah, if it's flashing slowly, just look up, go see which one you've still got, and don't forget to look there too. Move train to lift. That's different from ready to move. This one you got to hold down until the train starts moving. They got similar buttons over there in controls. And then you got your block resets. You got the lift block reset. It's going to move a train manually onto the lift. And you got the Station 1 block reset. This is Station 1. So, as front left, in this case we're running 2 right now, exciting, you're going to be checking these first 4 rows. If we do not have exit or unload, you'll be responsible for moving mobility aids to the unload platform, which you'll go and do real quick before you start checking. You'll be checking the first 4 rows, front to back, in a zigzag pattern. And come back here. You're going to do your scan, put up your clear. Remember, it's not a thumbs up anymore. Thumbs up is restraints open. Put the clear. Back is going to see it. Walk back, do the scan while walking, and then put up their clear while walking. Nice and easy. Need a row unlocked. Hold up the number, and then your thumb up, number, and then thumbs up, and they'll unlock it for you. So when this train parks, we'll go through the motions. Since it's an Intamin, it's got multi-move, it's right behind it. Train's already open. Gates are opening. People are coming on in. Go ahead and close your gates. All right, and then we're going to come through here, and it's going to be a firm tug with both hands. Okay, go ahead and tug that. Hands up, please. All right. Careful not to step on this. You got to stay on the platform here. And then you go back while looking at your seats. And then look up at the monitor. It's all good. She's good. Go ahead and verify. Go ahead and do your scan. Go ahead and clear. All right. Just going to see it. Walk back. Do a scan. Oh, hang on. Back in the train. Go ahead and keep holding up your clear. Just gotta walk back. Do a scan. There we go. Move train. And we're good. You can let go. You can put your clear down. Comes the next train. Gates are opening. Everyone's coming in, coming in, coming in, coming in. And close the gates. We're going to go through here. All right, hands up, please. All right, next one. And the one after. All right, go ahead and take a look back. Look at your seats. Look at the monitor. Make sure all of your seats are good. Oh, we got one. All right, suck it in. 1, 2, 3. All right, you're good. Back here. And verify. Your scan. Put up your clear. She's going to see it. And she's going to walk back. Do her scan. Hold. Put that back in your pocket, buddy. All right. Go ahead and scan. Good. She's going to see it. Back. Do her scan as well. Clear, move train. All right, let's do one more. Side gates are open. One's coming on in. Sitting, sitting, sitting. Is it closed? Go ahead and close those gates. All right. Hands up, please. 1, 2. All right. Lift your belly, please. 2, 3. No? Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right, one more time. 1, 2, 3. Lock 1. Thumbs up. 1. So unfortunately, the restraint will not be able to safely accommodate you. I do need you to exit out the back. They'll let you through the exit gates. Or come through this way. All right. Lock. All right. Let's go quickly. All right. It's up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Monitor is all good. Back and go ahead and verify. All right, go ahead and do your scan. Put up your clear. It's going to clear as well. Move train. Excellent. All right. That's it for this position. We're going to go ahead and cross over the train. Wait for a second. Cross. And cross. All right, this side. Basically the same thing, except you're going to check the back. 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to front. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Check the monitor. This one's not quite down far enough. All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, we're good. And then you're going to walk up here. Going to verify. Do a scan. All right, that's set for you. You look over your rows. Then you come back here to your scan. And then go ahead and hold up your clear. And then you can remain anywhere in this. It's off. He's on the phone. Ready? All right. Set. Clear. All right. Go ahead and walk back. Scan. Put up your clear. Dispatch. Away it goes. It's a bit of a longer dispatch. Just don't go past this line, this door, until that train parks. Alright, everybody's coming in. Move down to the farthest seat in your row. For everyone to pull down their restraints, which are already locked as soon as the train parks. Hang on. Lock 8. Popping 8. Alright. Unfortunately, you are not going to be able to ride with your cast. At this time, I will need you to go through the exit out the back through those exit gates. I'm sorry. Here you go. Here's a skip the line for next time. Alright, you guys through riding? Okay, cool. Alright, hands up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, hands up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hands up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. Whoa, lost balance there. Hands up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Check the monitor. All good. It's gonna go ahead and verify. It's gonna do a scan. And it's clear. And then you're gonna walk through your... And you're going to put out what's essentially a low clear. You're going to walk back here, scan your train, and then do an overt scan. Put up your clear. Dispatch. Alright, let's do one more. Then we'll pop into the booth. Alright, everybody's coming in. Got a wheelchair user. Gonna go ahead and wait for them to transfer in. While they're taking the wheelchair back. Everybody's all good. Train's down. All right, hands up, please. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hands up. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, hands up. 1, 2, 3. All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, I'm gonna try again. 1, 2, 3. All right, you're good. 4. All right, hands up, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. Check the monitor. All good. Go ahead and dispatch. Go ahead. Not dispatch. Verify. What he's going to do is scan. Throw up is clear. All right. And then you're going to say set. Back. Scan. Up you're clear. And we're good. All right. That's basically the gist of that. Very simple. Very easy. It's not like Intamin's old trains like dragsters that require a 3-point check. Oh, gotta check the flat bar, gotta check the seatbelt, gotta make sure the seatbelt's through the triangle bar, otherwise the Earth's gonna explode. Now, it's a simple harness, and that's it. You just tug on it. Basically, Intamin's user-friendliness has gone through the roof, so has their reliability. So basically, everything B&M's done great, everyone else is doing great now. B&M's kind of struggling with. It's an odd phenomenon. You've ridden Maximus, you've ridden Iron Menace, you've ridden Rakshasa, you've ridden Rapterra, you know. You know. Alright. It's your panel. It's shiny. It's aluminum. It's one of them newfangled Intamin's panel. So, let's go through all these. What's in here? Got your park phone, you got your A phone. You got your fire extinguisher in here. Spare height sticks are out there. Water cooler is currently getting filled. Got your microphone. It's a pedal microphone. Boop. It's a foot pedal. So, trouble light. Anyone who's ever operated an Intamin has gotten intimately familiar with this lovely indicator. Basically, it's the I crapped my pants light for this ride. It's either flashing or solid. Error will pop up where it currently says no current faults. It'll pop up there, shift itself to manual, and then E-stop might light up for certain ones. Your lift stop and your ride stop. You also have your auto mode stop over here. The ride stop stops everything in the control point. It doesn't even allow you to move it manually until maintenance resets. So, next is maintenance bypass. Maintenance comes with their fancy keys, throws it in a maintenance mode. That'll be lit up. This should always be lit up. This should be lit up under normal circumstances. Transfer mode, this will be lit up if it's thrown into transfer mode. Oh, transferring trains is a breeze on this. It's not like Dragster where you can conk the trains together now. This one will move everything to where you need it to go. Just hold the button down until it stops moving. Speaking of moving everything in manual, here's your jogs. Now, previously, in a previous life, we would have only shown like in charges, ride leads how to jog trains. We're showing everyone now. Whoever's in controls at the time can do the jogging. It's much easier. I trust you guys enough. I don't pay you guys $24 an hour for nothing here. So your station 1, jog back. So basically you reset the next block, and if it's empty, the 2 buttons that apply to it will light up. So let's say got to reset station 2, and you got to move a train there either forward or back. You got a train in the safeties and a train here, and probably a train on the lift, I'm guessing. So in which case, you reset that block, and then your 2 buttons will light up. Your station 1 jog back, and your curve jog forward. And then you just hold it until the train parks in the proper spot. And then you got your station 2, your curve, your lift jog forward, because the lift cannot be jogged backwards because there's ARBs. Your station 1 jog forward, station 2 jog forward, your curve jog forward, and the safety jog forward. Safety cannot be jogged backwards either because it's all gravity past that point. Station 1, you can jog forward on the lift. The lift will not automatically start moving. It'll go slowly. And then you'll basically be sending it onto a deadlift. You got your block resets too. Both of you need to be holding your block reset at the same time for the block to actually reset. So while you're doing block resets in manual mode, you're going to be on the microphone. You're going to say throws an E5 or whatever the hell the fault is, or thinks there's a ghost train somewhere, and the train just stops on the lift. By the way, lift jog forward is only available in maintenance mode. All the others are fine. Lift jog forward is only maintenance mode. So, train here, train kind of there. Here, if you want to move it here, all your block resets will light up. You announce over the microphone. Station 2, reset block. Hold it down. Stand clear, moving in manual to station 2. And then you hold that down. Simple. Now, make sure when it's moving in reverse, you say moving reverse in manual. Or to do that. Got your key switches, got your auto mode is on. Now, if it's in manual mode, but that key set to on, you got to reset. Control power on off reset. Got your transfer mode on off. Got your maintenance mode on off. Got 2 move train to lift buttons. They need to be held down at the same time until the train starts moving. Got your restraints button. Now this one we programmed to be more or less convenient. So basically, what you can do this a couple different ways, but basically comes down to holding. This is spring loaded, so you have to hold it to the unlock position, and you got to tap a row. So you twist that this way, and you press your row. Like, hold on, there's going to be one. Sitting down. I'll show you in a second, but hey, Marquez. Pretend there's someone there named Marquez. Can you leave 1 restraint down in row 8, please? On the incoming train? On the train that's currently parked and unload? Alright, cool. He's going to leave that down so I can show you something. Leave 1 down in 7 and 1 down in 6, too. Alright, thank you. I'm going to wait till that comes in to show you. But basically, hold this to the right, and you're going to tap whichever rows, and it can be all 8 if you need them to. Whichever rows you need to unlock. So it can be 1 at a time, 2 at a time, 3 at a time. And then to lock them, you just let go of the button, turn back to the left, and it'll lock all the rows that have previously been unlocked. However, if you only need to relock one of the rows, you just tap that row again and it'll lock while holding this. Here, I'll show you. Releasing row 8. Releasing row 7. Row 8 is now locked. Releasing row 6. And then go ahead and release it. Row 6, 7 are now locked. Please recheck if you've already started checking. Yeah, I threw it in there. Go and kill me if you must. So that's basically how that works. Release all rows just selects all, instead of you having to select all of them manually. Go to menu, that's not for you. Maintenance pipe, that's not for you either. Auto mode should be this circle. If it's in manual mode, it'll be in this one. Run diagnose, that's not for you either. No current faults. Should stay that way. Sometimes this thing will have bad days. Exit gates closed. Yes, they are. Train moving to load. That's if they're ready to move. Is pressed. Unload gates are set to auto. Load gates are set to auto. Right load push button is pressed. Load verify is activated. This shows that your load gates are closed. And this shows that your controls verify is pressed. So you'll see anyway because it's lit up. You already know what the verify button does. Ride start, lift start. Ride start requires maintenance. Requires a certain key. Turn control power on. To reset, hit the ride start button. No, you reset that, and then you turn the key to the left and hit the ride start button. You'll hear the ride monitor, or you'll hear the alarm go off, and then you'll hear a message in Spanish about how the ride is about to start moving. Please clear the area. English and Spanish. English or Spanish. Man, I am full of the cringy memes today. Your lift start. There's a lift start button like right there. You're going to send someone over. You're going to hold it. You're going to hold down the button for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. And the lift start alarm will play, and the lift will start. At your lift stop, that just stops the lift chain. Ride stop, that stops every train in the control point. Your E-stop, that cuts out of the ride. It's your lockout. If we need a lockout for any reason, such as an evac, or even at the beginning or end of the day to do locks, and it is anyone who's ever done locks on Millie will know it is one hell of a locks run. So this thing is massive. It's at least a quarter mile all the way down the end of this. Locks takes like 40. Locks in the morning takes like an hour. It can take at least a half an hour at night. I need to go look for something. So basically, just throw that there. Throw your lock on it. Put the key in your belt somewhere safe, because only you are allowed to undo that lockout. It's yours. you lose your key, and you're locked out of the ride, this ride's not going to go up for a while. Because then you have to grab the head of rides to literally come over and approve the lock being cut off. Then we have to pay for a new lock. It sucks. Now, there's only a couple spots on this, you might notice. Let's say there's a situation like we have to evac off the lift or off the brakes. We need a lot of people. We all need a lock at once. So in which case, we have a master lock. Not a master brand lock, just we call it a master lock. Throw that guy on there. And then the key goes in the lockout box. And the lockout box is a plexiglass box. I think it's plexiglass. I have no idea. I haven't seen one of these things in a while. Closes. And then you'll notice holes through the flange on the box, through which everyone puts their locks. So as long as there's at least one lock on there, you can't open that. That's how we do group lockouts. We don't use the hasp anymore because those suckers break all the time. And they're annoying. So that's that. You got the lockout station somewhere over there with all your tags and everything. Your e-stop reset, that's self-explanatory. E-stop. It's for maintenance. Auto mode stop does the same thing as it does anywhere else. Acknowledge button. This acknowledges the fault. It's the first thing you do when it's time to diagnose the ride and cure it. Alright, that's enough about the panel. In the control booth, now you sit here and push lights. Now, so train parks, gates are open, gates are closed. The ride is already locked when it parks here, so you only need to unlock rows if they need to be unlocked. You don't have to actually do anything. To lock the rows. So you're going to be doing that. You're going to be watching, make sure nothing unusual is going on. You're going to be looking at your cameras, making sure nothing unusual is going on in any of the control points. You're going to be looking at these. These are your blocks where the train is occupied. The little dots that go around here show how far the train is in the layout. When it comes time, you're going to look over here. They're going to do their clear. You're going to look at these. You're going to watch these green boxes fill up. Call out seats if they're not addressed after a while. And then eventually once you see all these things green, you're going to say verify or verify when ready. And then you're going to push down your verify button and light up solid. And then once those are both lit up, these are going to turn off. And these going to do is scan. They're going to do their scan, and then you're going to look over, right? And then you're going to go set. When you say set, he's going to do a scan. Go over here, go to scan, and then you're going to say dispatch. And you're going to hold down these buttons. It's going to start moving, and it's going to be all grand. Excellent. Excellent. So, that's basically the gist of it. I'm not sure if I explained that right. I haven't done this in a little while. So, as soon as the next train goes and parks, you say we hop in the seat, drive this puppy around. We're almost done here. We're going to do a few cycles at controls, and then we got final thoughts. So, away she goes. Alright, I'll head up in. Gates are opening, gates are opening, gates are opening. Everyone's coming in, coming in, coming in, coming in. Close, everyone's pulling down. Started checking. Oh, we need a lock. Twist this. Releasing row 7. Releasing row 2. Row 7 is now locked. Please recheck. Row 2 is now locked. Please recheck. Here. Verify when ready. Here. He's got glasses. All right, go ahead and hit your verify. All right. Set. Set the train. Scan. Dispatch. Press your buttons. That was fun. Let's do another one. Alright, gates are open. Everyone's coming in, coming in, coming in, coming in. We'll need to release any rows this time. Checking. Good, they're good, they're good. Cell phone, row 1. Address this. Little trouble getting someone in row 7. Releasing row 7. So, yep. Hey, we got it. There we go. Verify. Set. Hold. Looks like someone's got a loose article back there. Set. Dispatch. All right, last cycle. In they come. Everyone's coming in, coming in, coming in. Why did I just see 5 people walk through the front of our line? All right, there we go. That's good. I don't see any LGs. Check row 6. I think I saw a cast back there. Or a brace. It's a brace. Have them take it off. Put it at unload. Good. Checking still. Verify when ready. Set. What's going on back there? Alright, we need to send the train. Set. Wants to get off, he should have done it before you checked him. Dispatch. Excellent. All right. And give controls back. Oh, accidentally left the door open. No wonder it was so toasty in there. Go and cross. All right. So, that was that. That is the ins and outs of Sovereign. What is probably our crowning achievement in terms of coasters, and it's what $50 million gets you. An Intamin. Very large Intamin. That is actually kind of well behaved, so. That's basically it. I hope you enjoyed this. Next one, Roaring Thunderbird, should hopefully not take a year and a half like this one did. This one honestly took twice as long as it should have. A lot of life stuff going on, so. Still is, but we'll deal with it as it comes. So, I'll provide regular updates for you when I can on the status of that. But, yeah, that's it for Sovereign. Bathroom's right there if you need it on the way out. And, why don't you pick up some chocolate and a not AI-generated shirt before you go back. You can also pick up the same shirts at the front. We also have package pickups, which is nice. We are proudly human. We don't use AI for our merch. That's it. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.